Hi. Okay, so I'm sorry this is late. It's Wednesday. Yeah. Actually it is 1:46 on Thursday morning, and I'm so sorry this is late. I haven't been feeling very well, and I had this really long essay due, but you don't care about that. But anyway, let's get on to the review. Okay, this episode is part 2 of the season premiere of Doctor Who season 6. It's called Day of the Moon. There are spoilers to this. If you have not yet seen this episode, do not watch this. I'm going to be talking about the episode. And it starts out 3 months after the end of the first episode, and Rory, Amy, and River are all running from Canton, who seems to not remember anything that happened in the warehouse. And apparently, we learn that Amy is not pregnant at the beginning of this episode. She tells the doctor that it was a mistake, and she never told Rory. She doesn't want Rory to know. Canton is chasing after Amy, Rory, and River, and he kills them. River jumps off a building, and he shoots Amy and Rory, and he takes them to the doctor, who is in a straitjacket. He's got a beard, and he's in Area 51, being surrounded by bricks that cannot be toppled over. It is an impenetrable prison. Inside the impenetrable prison, he closes the prison, and no one can hear or see them, and Rory and Amy are alive, and the doctor takes off his straitjacket, and they get in the TARDIS and go save River from falling off a building. After that, they explain that the aliens have post-hypnotic suggestion, and that is how they have been surviving all these centuries. They tell people what to make, and every time they see you, or you see them, not every time, but they plant a suggestion in your head, and you take it as your own idea or something, and the doctor proves this because he takes the picture Amy took on her phone of the alien from the bathroom, projects it on the room, and shows it to Canton, and he tells him to straighten his bow tie when he looks away. He does. The doctor implants little recording devices in each of their hands so that they can record what they see whenever they see the aliens, and also the tally marks let them know how many aliens they have seen. And so Canton and Amy go to this orphanage in order to find the little girl, while the doctor has gone to the spaceship, the Apollo spaceship, to put a transmitter device on the ship. And so Amy and Canton go to the orphanage. It's abandoned except for the guy who runs it, and he has gone crazy. It is because the aliens have been messing with him. Every time he sees his mind is just weak. He's messed up. He's sad. We learned that the aliens are called the Silence because Canton wounds one, and they tell the doctor, and the Silence was mentioned in the previous season. When I first heard it in the previous season, I thought it was talking about, like, at the end of the last season, when all the planets were gone. I thought that was the Silence. I did not know that the Silence was going to follow into the next season. Excuse me. While Canton is with the guy in his office, Amy goes exploring the rest of the orphanage, and she finds a room that is all decorated for a little girl, and she sees pictures on a table, and one of the pictures in particular was a picture of her smiling, holding a baby in her arms, which I thought was weird because she's not pregnant. But of course, we all know that she is pregnant because they wouldn't mention her pregnancy unless they were going to make it a big thing. So she sees a picture, she turns around, there's a little girl in the astronaut suit, followed by two of the Silence. So she starts freaking out, and the doctor and Rory and everybody rushes up to that room, and she's gone. The only thing that they have of her is a little transmitter in her hand, and it is now a live broadcast of whatever she says. And there's the spacesuit sitting on the floor, pried open. The little girl is no longer inside, and River Song deducts that it is because the little girl is super strong. And the doctor likes that. He says he likes her already because of that. And the spacesuit was a device meant to keep someone alive, to sustain someone's life. And apparently it's alive. That's what the little girl was saying in the last episode, the spaceman's gonna eat me. Okay, so 5 days later, they find Amy in this room with a bunch of the aliens. And one of the aliens starts talking to her, and he says one of two things. He says, "You will either break the silence or bring the silence." I couldn't really hear it. I didn't have subtitles on my TV, and no matter how much I turned it up, I couldn't understand what it was saying. It's either break the silence or bring the silence. Anyway, the wounded silent that they have, Canton records it saying, "You should kill us all on sight." And the doctor shows up to the place to save Amy. Rory's untying her. River's got her gun pointed at all of them, ready to shoot all of them whenever she can. And her and the doctor start flirting, which I think is kind of cute. Because they are kind of a cute couple. The Matt Smith, River Song, kind of cute. But she was better with David Tennant. Okay, I'm babbling. I'm sorry. Anyway, so the doctor brings in a TV to watch the Apollo landing. And just as Neil Armstrong is setting his foot onto the moon, a flash of the silent saying, "You should destroy us all in sight," shows across every TV channel in the nation, on the planet. I don't know if it's on the planet, but in the nation, whoever saw that broadcast. And everyone who saw it can't remember that they saw it, but they turn around and they start turning on the silence. All the little silent aliens standing around watching them. And so they get royally PO'd. And River Song just goes ballistic, starts shooting them all. Bang, bang, bang. She's really badass that way. And so they kill all the aliens in that little area. And they take River back to her jail cell. And she kisses the doctor. And he tells her that there's a first time for everything. And when he says that, she realizes that that is the last time she will ever kiss him. Because as we all know, her past is his future, and her future is his past. And if he didn't kiss her before that point, then her future, she will never kiss him again. Which kind of makes me sad because, I mean, they are married. I can kind of guess because I looked on a list. I'm going to tell you, I looked on a list at Wikipedia, and it says one of the episodes is called The Doctor's Wife. And I'm assuming that it's River Song. So if it's not, then something's just screwed up. But anyway, so they leave in the TARDIS, and the doctor tells Rory to go down and get something, and he asks Amy how she's doing, and she says that she can't remember anything because she thinks he's talking about everything that she saw. And he says no, about the pregnancy thing, and he asks her why he was the one that she told instead of telling Rory, and she says that it's because the doctor is her best friend. And she knows that if she told Rory, he would freak out. And she was afraid that if she had been pregnant, that the TARDIS would have had some sort of effect on the child, maybe given it a time head. And they laugh about that. And Rory happens to be listening in because he has the live feed microchip thingamajig recorder. And he comes up and she talks to him and she tells him that she's not pregnant. And they hug and they kiss, and they're all husband and wifey and stuff. And the doctor does a secret scan of Amy, and it turns out she is pregnant. And we all knew that she would be, or they wouldn't have even brought the subject up. And plus the picture of her holding the baby. So obviously, she is pregnant. And after that scene, we go to New York. It says 6 months later. I first interpreted it as 6 minutes later. I didn't really understand that until I went and watched it again, and it said 6 months later. There's a bum, rummaging around in the trash looking for food, and then the little girl from the spacesuit shows up. She tells him that she's dying, and he offers to help. And she says, "It's alright, I can fix it." Her hands start glowing, and she starts to regenerate. Which makes me think that the time head thing isn't such a far off thing, because, not saying that she's got some sort of weird distorted head, we can all see that she doesn't, but, the TARDIS might have had some sort of effect on Amy's child, on the baby, to make it a Time Lady, which I think is the female form of the Gallifreyan Time Lord, Time Lady things, And so she starts to regenerate, and I'm pretty sure that we're going to, I'm positive that we're going to figure out who the little girl is and what what the silence meant when he told her that she will bring the silence or she will break the silence. I'm not sure what they said. Pretty sure he said bring. And so that's the end of episode 2, Day of the Moon. I will be back next week for episode 3. It's about pirates, I think. I'll be back Saturday, not next week. If you enjoyed this, please give me a thumbs up, or you don't have to give me a thumbs up, just comment, tell me what you thought about it. And if anyone happens to have a link, I'm asking you if you have a link to a site where I can get, where I can watch the classic episodes of Doctor Who, starting with David Hartnell as the Doctor. I would love that, please. Okay, so I'll see you guys next week, or Saturday, whenever I happen to get the next one up after Saturday night when it airs. And see you guys later.